A new week is here. How's the weather looking? Chance for some storms and some hail for some folks? Let's talk about it in this Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. This is typically where you'd get to hear the music and the stuff, but instead you get to hear me say good morning and welcome. It is Monday, the 11th of November, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Not bad weather for a decent chunk of the weekend after thunderstorm chances moved out Friday into Saturday morning. Before we get started, I do want to thank our veterans who have served, so we are able to bring you content like this without the fear of suppression. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So, thank you very much for your service. We do appreciate it. Here's the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Tuesday. Increasing cloud cover across the state as we go into tonight as some upper-level moisture tries to return to the state. Notice that we do not have any precipitation. Maybe a little fog in the Edwards Plateau, South Texas. Start out Tuesday morning, light southeasterly winds. So we get into Tuesday evening, the opportunity for isolated thunderstorms capable of producing quarter-sized hail and localized strong wind gusts may materialize across the eastern Texas Panhandle. This will be a dry event for a vast majority of the state, and even those in the Panhandle, most of y'all will probably stay dry, but we could see a few storms tomorrow evening as early as 7 p.m. Central Time, but more likely after 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time into early Wednesday morning. Those storms will move east into Oklahoma by the pre-dawn hours on Wednesday. Again, this is not expected to be a significant widespread precipitation or severe weather event. You can see the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook indicative of the eastern half of the Panhandle of Texas, along with portions of West Texas, generally along east of Interstate 27. So technically this does include places like Perryton, Canadian, McLean, Shamrock, Pampa, Amarillo, Plainview, Lubbock, into Childress and western Oklahoma. The potential for some modestly strong to severe storms with quarter-sized hail, localized strong wind gusts, brief heavy rain, and cloud-to-ground lightning. So this is a modest severe weather threat, and again does not include a vast majority of the state of Texas. So we head into the wildfire outlook from the Texas A&M Forest Service. We're generally dealing with moderated fire behavior, thankfully, after some rain over the weekend and late last week across most of the state, but we will begin to see a uptick as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with continued dry weather, drying of surface fuels, though that doesn't mean the ground itself will necessarily dry out quickly, so the issue of getting brush trucks and apparatus stuck in mud will be a hazard. But the potential for high fire danger may return to the borderland far west Texas, Guadalupe, Davis Mounds, the Trans-Pecos, the Permian Basin, Concho Valley as we get into Wednesday. Let's take a look at the longer range American weather model, the global forecast system as we go through the week. Really not a whole lot to talk about as we go through this work week into the weekend. Thankfully, I mean, it's not too bad. We do need rain, but at the same time, we could have winter storm galore, severe weather outbreaks, spinny doom issues, and it doesn't look like we're going to be dealing with that for most of the week. You can see, in fact, it's going to be pretty tranquil. I never want to say quiet because that just encourages issues, but tranquil, pleasant, warm. And then our next upper-level storm system does look like it is going to begin approaching as we get into the second half of the weekend, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and next week. We'll let this play out, and you'll see that beginning to show some increasing precipitation chances and cloud cover, and then the simulated weather radar starts to light up like a Christmas tree. All right, let's take a look at the upper-level wind version of this. This is winds 500 millibars up, so halfway between, the surface and the top of the atmosphere. Around 18,500 feet above sea level. You can see as we go through the week, little storm system coming in tomorrow night that could help spark off a couple of storms in the eastern Panhandle. Mostly quiet for the rest of the week due to a lack of moisture. And then as we get into Sunday and Monday, next kicker of an upper level trough comes on in, and that could result in a active weather pattern, including the potential for thunderstorms. Severe weather potential, certainly not out of the question, but at this point, we're talking about 7-8 days away. So Realistically, that's not going to be a hazard we need to worry about for a little while, but yeah, we'll see. It could be an active period. High temperatures today, you know what? Not bad at all. We're looking at 70s across the northwestern half of the state, northern half of the state, 80s to low 90s. South Texas, Edwards Plateau, deep South Texas at Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley, Coastal Bend, Coastal Plains, into the southwestern portions of the Brazos Valley. Tomorrow, a little cooler in the Panhandle, 70s, 60s, 70s, northern half of the state, 80s, southern half of the state. Really not too much change. A little cooler again on Wednesday, highs back into the 50s in the Panhandle. Otherwise, we're generally going to be seeing 60s, 70s, 80s, and low 90s across the state. Thursday will actually be cooler. We're looking at mostly 60s, northern half of the state, 70s to mid-80s, southern half of the state. Then as we get into Friday, same story, a little warmer, but the clear indications are here. Pleasantly warm temperatures during the daytime hours across the state this week, with really not a lot in the way of precipitation chances unless you count the chance for isolated storms in the eastern Panhandle and West Texas tomorrow evening, which we'll have to keep an eye on for some hail. This looks familiar, doesn't it? We dealt with this for most of October. The pattern favoring above average temperatures along and east of the Continental Divide, the Rocky Mountains, with cooler weather across the western third of the United States. This is November 16th through 20th, the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. But this is a change compared to most of October. Above average precipitation chances for the time frame of next week, which makes sense given that pretty impressive upper level trough expected to kick in. So while most of this week will feature dry weather across a majority of the state, we are expecting active weather to return Sunday night and Monday next week, with the potential for some thunderstorm activity, and we'll see what else. That will be it for your Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Again, thank you to those veterans and all our veterans who have served in allowing us the freedom to be able to produce this kind of content without fear of reprisal. That's the word I was looking for earlier. See, thinking helps. We will not have a Texas Weather Roundup video tomorrow morning. I'm going to be traveling. I have to be at the airport at 4:30 in the morning, so goes without saying I'm probably going to try to get as much sleep as possible, so I'm not going to wake up at 2 a.m. to make a video. We will have graphics and written posts because I can do that pretty easily from an aircraft. Creating videos on a plane with the necessity of narration, not as easy and rather rude, so we won't be doing that, but we'll have updates as needed. So the next Texas Weather Roundup for me will likely be Wednesday morning. I may push one out tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. I'm flying across the country, so if I survive and, don't feel like garbage and trash, I will try to put out something tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see you again on Wednesday morning. If you ask nicely, meteorologist Jason Cooley may push something out tomorrow morning if he has an opportunity. But again, we're not expecting a lot of high-impact weather over the next 48 hours outside of the potential for some thunderstorms with hail tomorrow night in the eastern Texas Panhandle. So we'll see. Maybe I will push something out tomorrow afternoon video-wise, but we'll keep you updated on that. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers or you download apps for your device. And of course, you can find us on the web, TexasStormChasers.com. I'm Texas Weather Center's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Thanks for tuning in this morning. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day. God bless.